Is Nomsa here at Ngozi Talk Shows, Find Your Own Voice, led from within. So I'm on my own today, guys, and so the topic today is how to shut down toxic talk and gossip. Gossip can destroy families. Gossip can destroy relationships. Gossip can turn people's life upside down. Gossip can cause stress, can cause anxiety, it can cause depression to people. So today I am going to cover to recognize the impact of toxic and talk, the psychology behind the gossip, negative conversation, and understanding the type of gossip and their motivations, and communicating effectively. So if I'm not able to cover all these guys, we can always come back to it and just work on it. Gossip is something that can come in various forms. And gossip can come in various forms. Okay, I need to delete this. Gossip comes in various forms. Sorry, guys, these guys are making noise, and it can destroy families, and it can, because that information is the information that is not real, and the evolution of the role of gossip. So we have to understand that in our ancestral environment, gossip played a crucial role in survival. Sharing information about others helped individual potential threat and alliance with their communication, with tendency to change social information and deeply ingrained in nature. So gossip in social can destroy people's lives. It can also be actually a tool that destroys people's lives. So how do we deal with it when you are at work and you are faced with this gossip? Emotionally, it can leave you emotionally distressed, and it can lead to emotional distressed feelings, including feelings of hurt, anger, frustration, and sadness. If you are others who are consistently feeling that you have to get involved to do gossip, and I think the best way to get out of gossip is to actually making sure that the friends that you are with, you surround yourself with, they align with your character and your image. I don't get involved. For me personally, I don't get involved with gossip. The reason why I don't get involved with gossip is because growing up as a child, my grandmother used to say to me, when somebody tells you something, and if they want you to share that information, they want you to share that information with somebody, you can share that information with somebody if that person has asked you to. But if somebody tells you something in confidence, don't go and talk about them and also talk about that information, because it's not yours to talk about. And also there was this thing where my grandmother would say, if you hear something, or if you have a friend, she would say to me, don't go and talk to your friends about them to other people. And the reason why I chose this topic today, I've chosen this topic based on something that happened in 2016. I went through so much. I went through pain in my life, and how do I put this? So in 2016, you know, some of you guys know about occult. I hear that there's some people that they say this artist joined occult, they've joined this, they joined occult. Some of it is the truth. So I recorded my single. That's why I actually stopped singing the popular music. I recorded my single at Play Studio in London, and after I recorded my single, and I came home, and I was fasting at the time as well for 40 days. And so when I came home, and I went to audition The Voice. And when I went there, I couldn't go and do live because my voice disappeared. So when my voice disappeared, I went home. I lost my voice. I had really, really nasty flu. I lost my voice. And I came home. When I was home, this spirit that recruits artists, there are some artists that they have joined occult. That is truth. Before, I didn't know whether it's the truth or not. So he entered, I was in the living room, and he entered and he started speaking, offering me to join. And if I was to join, he will make my music, he will help me to become famous. He'll help me to get loads of followers, and he will help me to become rich. He put everything on the ground, what he was to offer me. So I was fasting, and for me, I follow Jesus. So as I was fasting, the Holy Spirit made me realize that it's not God. But when he came and declared himself as it was Jesus, and the Holy Spirit showed me that it's not Jesus. So I said, no. And I said, number one, why do you want to make me rich? Why do you want to make me famous? And what is the cage for me? So I said, no. So this thing, because I said no, Satan does not like rejection. So he tortured me. When he tortured me, so I confided in somebody because I was going through a lot. So I called my pastor, the pastor where in Braintree where I used to live. So I called my pastor and I said, this is what is happened in my living room. Can you come? Braintree and Henley is 2 hours drive. My pastor they'd moved to London, so she is English. She is English. She got into the car and then she came. And she prayed for me, and she said, I need to hold on to God. And she left. And when she left, so I confided in somebody, and this person, what has happened, and this person betrayed me. Basically, what they did, they called social services and they called the police. Within a second, there was the police and there was everybody. So everybody listened to the story, and the police said, no, we know this girl. She lives in Hanley. We see her with her children, so we're not getting involved. If she's got problems, and they asked me who is helping me, I said, my pastor, because I didn't know that this occult exists. So everyone will do the same. When you hear a God coming to you, there's lots of gods, by the way. So you hear one of the gods coming to you and you can feel it. You want to know what is going on. So I was just confiding in people, thinking they're going to help me. But this this person betrayed me. So when he betrayed me, because I was praying and I was fasting for 40 days and God was with me at the same time as well. So everything just backfired and backfired, and they called a psychiatric doctor. He said, she's telling the truth. I'm not going to get involved either. So everyone was like, I'm not getting involved. We just wanted to get help. So what happened was there was this pastor that stepped in. This guy, he stepped in from the bottom of his heart and he helped me. He dedicated his life for 1 year to actually help me. Like at 2 a.m. he will call me and say, it's time to pray. He will call me and he just dedicated his life. So when he dedicated his life, I realized that my family, they're Christian. They didn't know what Satan, between Satan and God. So what I did was my mom stood by me. So when we were going through this guy was somebody that I have never met. And somebody gave me his number to call him. So he surprised me. You know, when somebody enters your life and they dedicate their life and they're like, I'm going to give you my time to make sure that you survive. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that you survive. Because I had pissed a God. And I didn't know by saying no that I pissed him off. And he was actually wanting to go after my family. So at the time, I didn't know the consequences of saying no. So they explained to me the consequences, what I'm going to face by saying no. So that's when I realized actually I was facing bigger problems. So and then at the time we fought, and then I survived. But after surviving, and this thing, he keeps fighting me. But then I suspected that he's using the gossip. There's something, because when my pastor is Dr. Olokoya MFM. So when he speaks, he tells you that the gossip, what does gossip do? So I realize that this thing is using gossip. So then at the time, I was busy with my business and the business deals were not coming through. And I couldn't understand. I got confused. I would make a deal for business. And there were times where I was meant to actually, I'm not going to say the details. I was meant to actually receive millions and millions. And this person entered and cost me that deal. So at the time I kept praying and I kept praying. But now that the truth, now I'm like praying, like saying, God, show me the truth. And the truth got revealed when I'm realizing that I've realized that actually the gossip, this guy that stepped in to help me, because I know the truth myself. He knows the truth, that he stepped in, and even the social services, they were involved. You know, when somebody, I actually had to actually kick them out. I had to actually ask the lawyer, and I was like, tell me the law, what they are breaking, the law that they are breaking by giving me problems. So she told me this is what they're under section this, under section this. So what I did was let them come into the house, and then I let them in, and then I had to read those sections, like under section this, you guys are discriminating me, under section this, you guys are doing this under section this. So I kicked them out. And I said, if you ever have any evidence against me, because I confided in somebody with problems that are real, but you guys are using that to actually bring me down. So I kicked them out. And when I kicked them out, they never came back. And it's only me that knows this story. And this guy, he has a church. He is somebody that I have never met who heard my story. And they've dedicated their life, they put their lives on the line to say, Nomsa, I have gone through this problem before I became a pastor. So I'm going to help you, and I'm going to teach you how to live a life knowing who you are as a person. I'm going to teach you how to become the person that you want to become without asking a penny or without just somebody dedicated their time. So I was like, okay, I was shocked, even myself, why this person will want to dedicate their life to actually help me. So he actually, and at the time, friends were turning against me, family members were turning against me. Everybody was like, the world was falling apart. But at the time, I didn't know that I have pleased God when I said, no, I don't want to follow you. So for those who listen to the music of these people that are being accused of joining a cult, it is real. So I'm not going to say the artist because I felt it, which artist that the music, because before he actually appeared, I started getting obsessed with these artists, their music. I started really getting obsessed with a certain artist, their music. I'll play, but I didn't realize I was like, he was worshiping, calling this thing. So, but I'm not going to talk about the artist. So you guys are going to have to, every battle is every man for himself. It wouldn't be fair for me to mention people's names. So I don't play, I completely moved away from the world music. I don't play R&B anymore. I just play gospel music. And that's why when I actually do that's why when I do my dance for confidence, I just play gospel music because I've gone through it. It's not a joke. So it's not something that I can say somebody's joking. Is a joke, so I don't. So when as the time goes by, I realize that actually my family members were gossiping about this guy and saying that he is not really, he's this, but this is the guy that saved their lives. This is the man that saves their lives. So that's why I'm sharing my story for people to understand that gossip, whatever people say when they are gossiping, is not necessarily that it is the truth. It's not. Gossip can actually cause a breakdown of trust. It can actually, between individual and families, it can, because that is a negative talk. When people are talking negative and they're creating this story that they don't know about, and that story becomes real. So this person, he has his own church that is dedicated his life to actually enter someone's life, to actually say, I'm going to help this family, and they expect nothing in return. But at this moment, at the same time, people are gossiping about him and saying he is not really, he is a liar. And that's what broke my heart when I actually realized, because it's me that knows the truth. And so it can also cause the impact on health problems. It can cause health problems because when that happens, it causes stress, anxiety, and depression. And for me, at the time when I realized, it's not somebody came and told me, I actually realized the Holy Spirit, because I pray and say, God, show me anything that is hindering my life moving forward. So that's when I realized, actually, this God is using these people, my family, to actually destroy my prayers and to destroy this pastor that doesn't know me, that now I call him my brother, because I feel that he entered my life for a reason. He entered my life and took me in, and he never asked for anything. What he has asked for is actually has prayed and changed my life. And that's all I can say, that he has changed my life, because sometimes I do things that I don't believe that I was capable of. I didn't believe that I was capable of. So through that journey, going through the journey, and when I listened, when I listen to people, what they think of him as a person. So it actually makes me realize that actually people are actually can destroy your life. Because this person, when this thing entered my life, it didn't just enter my life, it meant it entered my bloodline and it could have wiped out my bloodline. So that's what it is. Because when these artists, when they join, they are not just joining, it involves human blood sacrifice. It means their fans that they are listening to their music, they are being sacrificed for them to get bigger. And that's what I realized, that's what I got told, the consequences of people that are joining, what it does. And I was like, but when people talk, they say it's just so cold. It was like, no, it's not. There is a catch. People are joining it, but at the same time, there is a catch. There's an artist, it means that their fans, they are sacrificing their fans unknowingly. But some of it is the time goes by, they get to know it because it doesn't lie, it tells the truth. So that's what I realized the journey, because when he was actually attacking me, he wouldn't lie, he would tell me exactly what he's going to do. But by doing that, that means he's causing fear to me and is causing fear to the things that I'm doing, trying to stop me. But this pastor dedicated his life to say no, because they knew what he does. So they were coaching me, like teaching me, this is what I need to do, this is what I need to avoid. And so that's why I chose this topic, basically based on that, just because when you realize that what gossip can do, gossip can ruin relationships, and gossip can actually, because it's when somebody say things that don't exist, it can leave somebody, it can lead to communication patterns that can lead to breakdown of friendship, or family ties, romantic relationship. Romantic relationship can be destroyed. And to me, as a person, I am the one that went through the pain. But I don't talk about what I went through. I know this guy, when he helps, I know that he helped me, but I decided that one day I'm going to write a book and talk about my experience, the journey that I've gone through. But what I'm seeing in the moment, hearing in the moment, is everybody else have decided, even the people that he has protected, he put his life on the line to protect, to actually ask for mercy on their behalf. But what I'm realizing is he's a good person, somebody who is genuine, and he's actually behind his back, the people that they speak with him, there's people that tells him they love him, the people that hang out with him, and they're talking crap about him. And to me, that causes confusion. And they're like, he's taking advantage of Nomsa, but why is he taking advantage? I'm the one that had problems. He did not have problems. He had nothing to lose. So I'm sharing this, guys, is sometimes when people enter your life, when good people enter your life, you have to be grateful. And you have to, even when they enter your life, you have to ask yourself why this person enters your life. And if they're playing a big part into your life, you have to cherish those moments. Like I have cherished the moment of, I would not have been given a second chance to live, but I was given a second chance because this person fought for me on my behalf. The battle, I can tell you that the battle wasn't small, it was big. It was really, really big. For those, I've seen people, when they, like sometimes on social media, they talk about certain artists that they have joined the occult, and all those artists that they talk about, but they don't know what exactly they've joined. So if you know that an artist has joined these guys, don't play their music. It starts with depression, confusion, anxiety. When you play it at first is joy. And once the music takes over, that obsession is depression, anxiety, and sickness. And then after sickness, it's either dreams that don't make sense. They don't make sense. So that's all I can say. If you know an artist that people have accused them of being into occult, and if you know that it is the truth, don't play. If you are a Christian and you can play, you can pray about it. And if it is the truth, God will show you. Some of them is lies. There are some artists who are innocent that they've been accused, but they are innocent. They are not into occult. But there are specific artists that I can testify that for me, I played their music. I got obsessed. When it comes to my mind, I could not think anymore. I couldn't do anything. All I was like in the confused.com. I was like, I don't understand what is going on, until I actually realized that I was praying to God, and at the same time, I was playing the music of these artists and calling their gods, and I was worshiping their gods. And at the time, I didn't have the knowledge. So I asked this pastor that stepped in, because at the time, I live in Henley-on-Thames. And Henley-on-Thames is a place where celebrities live. It's a place where rich people live. So what I gathered when I was asking questions, that they didn't want it to come out in Henley. But then this pastor stepped in, and one English pastor, they knew exactly what I was going through. And this pastor, he looked at me in the eye and said, Nomsa, you know who you are. And I was like, okay, yes, I am. And I was like, stop hiding. Stop hiding. That's why these people, they want you. And these occult people, they don't just go for no one. They go for people who are talented. So that's all I can tell you. If you know that in business you are talented, if you know that you are smart, don't play their music, because they take over. So you, the owner of the brain, you start getting depression, and you start not thinking straight, because your mind is being used to get them creative. It's like the music with the voices. So my pastor was explaining that if somebody who is into occult, what happened is when they book the, let's say, O2, and they come and sing, so they dance. When they are dancing, it means if they're great dancers, the audience, the energy of their dance gets hugged, so they help the artist to dance and be brilliant. The voices, they get to hug people's voices, so that person becomes awesome, and more people get addicted to that. So on those are the things that I didn't have a clue about, and I was like, I'm a Christian, so you mean the Bible has come to life? And he was like, yes, Nomsa, you have to get real. So that's why he told me that get real. What you are reading in the Bible it happens is on earth. People, they join Satanism. And when they join, there are consequences of joining. So I was like, okay. And I was like, what do I do? So, and that's when that I pieced, when I say I don't want to join, I don't want to join you. So I pieced the other gods off, because it wasn't the only gods. There were thousands and thousands of gods that wanted me. So I was like, I didn't know he existed, but I had to face the consequences, and I had to live by my values and my beliefs, by not wanting to take any easy way out. And that's why I do what I do, because my mind became clear. After that, everything became clear, that who I was as a person, and who I was to become at that moment, and who I was, because I wasn't clear with my identity. So when I asked this pastor, I said, so help me, who am I? Why are these people, why do they want to use me? So then he explained what kind of a person I was. And it was the person that as a child, I knew who I was. But when you grow up as a child, the confidence, you lose your confidence because you think you are not good enough. So for me, I knew who I was. I was a musician. When I was 9 years old, I was singing professional on stages with my granddad. So I knew who I was, and I played football. And when I resigned football 2009, and I was like, okay, let me try new things. So I knew who I was. I knew the character of a person that I was. But at that moment, I didn't believe that I could be somebody better. I could do things that I do now. In that moment, when he explained that Nomsa in the Bible, there's these stories where people swapped lives. They were blessed with its other people's blessings. So you have to understand, when you say you're a Christian, you have to understand the values of being a Christian. In the time I couldn't understand. So that's when my pastor actually is the one that helped me. He lives in Henley. He's English. He lives in Henley. He looked at me and said, Nomsa, you know who you are. The social services, because this spirit was actually torturing me, wanting me, because I confided in somebody, he controlled that person to ring social services. So they told me that you're going to have to fight. Actually, one of the social services women, she entered with them and called me on the side and said, Nomsa, we believe you, but we need you to kick us out. We need you, because my colleagues is the one that wants to do this. We have no idea why he wants to keep pestering you, but you need to stay strong and kick them out. That was one of the social services who was with them. So, and and that's what I did. I listened, and that's what I did. I kicked them out. And it was like God was working on my side. So it's very, very important to actually, your character, because I didn't change my character. I didn't change. When I meet people, I genuinely get to know people. The person, and from the bottom of my heart, I accept them. And that's why sometimes the people, they always want to help me, even if sometimes when I'm going through the good times and bad times. So this guy, when he heard the story, actually, he just stepped in and said, I'll help you. And he said, I know what you're going through, but I'll help you, and I don't want anything in return. So he became my angel. And after that, when he was helping me, and the fight was coming, so I had to pray to God and say, show me what way the problem is coming from. Then I realized actually that there's somebody in my family that was actually telling people that this guy is not real because they know each other, and that is destroying somebody's church. Because this guy, he has a church, and he would have said no to help me, but he did help me, and he held my hands through dark times. And at the time I was starting my degree, I think I was on my second year studying my degree, and my degree actually helped me as well, because my mindset, it was very, very clear And that's why when the spirit entered my mind, I knew I was in a different world. My mind was here, but something else, there was something between the universe. So I could feel it. And he basically told me, he didn't lie to me, that I'm a God. He came back and showed me that I'm a God. If I wanted to kill you, I have killed you straight away. But I wanted to show you that how he actually insulted people. He said, I wanted to show you how you all turn against each other on earth. It takes 1 second for your friends to turn against you. That's what he did. And the other thing with the lockdown as well, I think everything was happening even during lockdown. When he entered, it cost me England match as well. So it was like, because it's mind control. So it was like lockdown. When he entered, I couldn't do anything. I could feel that there was this is not a normal thing, is a God. And it was like a lockdown. And I looked down and there were no words written, and it was like, this is what I'm doing. They are looking you all up. So when the doctors are looking at the microscope for whatever they look, he was showing me the sickness that it doesn't exist sometimes. The Microsoft, and it was like, I can show people whatever I want to show them. If they believe in sickness, they believe it. But since then, I don't believe in sickness anymore. Even this guy, he told me that's what he does. So I was like, but you guys don't teach this. But my pastor, anyway, I had to find the pastor that actually teaches exactly what he does, which is Dr. Olukoya MFM Church. So I had to leave my church. I had to leave some friends behind, and I had to find Dr. Olukoya because he talks about it. It talks about the journey of the foundation of life, how there are so many people who are talented, who waste their talent and they go to the ground without actually using their talent. He talks about how many people, like when you go to the graveyard, how many people who are actually who have been billionaires, who have been millionaires, but they never get to accomplish what they wanted because of that. So I realized I would have been one of those people that would have wasted their time and going to the grave without nothing. So I realized, I can tell you, I realized I was going to be one of them, because when he entered, it wasn't a joke. He said, Nomsa, follow me. I will give you whatever you want. That's why I had to stop my single. I wanted to go, I audition for The Voice. I had to stop. I was like, I don't want to go, and I can audition if I'm singing gospel music, but I don't want to go in and sing if that's what he does. Because to me, it was very, very clear that that's what he does to the artists, to these celebrities. That's his job. Is a spirit guards for the celebrities. Because I was going to that path. So I was like, no, I need to rethink, what can I do differently? So that's why I chose to become a matchmaker, because of people that were coming to me and saying, Nomsa, you know who you are, deep down in your heart. I love music. I sing gospel music. I still go to choir. I sing with the Reading Choir. I love what I do. But at that moment, it made me realize that actually, yes, there are some artists that are being accused, but for me, there are specific artists that I felt that the music that I played, that they belong to him. So I would never ever play that music, and I will never say their names as well, because God wouldn't want me to destroy. That is the path that they have chosen. It's not an easy path. It's the path they have chosen, is the identity that they have chosen. And also it's up to the audience as well to actually recognize that those artists that are into culture, to recognize it and not play their music and play whoever they want to play, but I'm not going to say their names. Because that will be, it will look like a gossip. I have seen it on Facebook. People say there was one that somebody was making a comment that people keep accusing. I just made a comment saying actually that is true, because I've gone through it. I didn't say no more because they were having a debate and some were saying that is true, but I was one of them that type and said actually that is true, because it is true. So yes. So gossip can destroy lives. This guy, he actually, because I am the example that I am here because he risked his life, because these people, when these guys are recruiting and you say no, even your helpers, they go after them. So he risked his life to actually save me. He risked his life to dedicated his life to actually help me to actually find the path of who I was meant to become. Because when we live on earth, we don't know, we know our purpose, but sometimes we think this is what we are supposed to be. But for me, there was a big part in my life that the gift that God had given me. And they wanted that gift to take it away from me. But I was like, he was like, we are our pastors and we are not going to allow them to do that. And these people dedicated their lives. And one of the pastors is in London, actually. He lives in London. One of them lives in South Africa. And Dr. Olokoya, those are the pastors that actually dedicated their life to saying no. One of them is based in Zimbabwe. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's 5 people that actually dedicated their lives to say no, we're going to help her. And they did it. These people, I'm not related to them. And they just got interested with my story. And when they got interested with my story and they dedicated their lives, there were rules that I needed to follow. If I didn't follow those rules, I wouldn't have survived. Number one, other rules were if I get invited to family dues, birthdays, at the time when he was around, when giving me problems, when these guys were giving me problems, it meant I have to say no, because they could have easily hugged the people around me as well. So I had to say no. But at the time when I was saying no to people, people were judging me, but it didn't matter because I knew I was saving their lives. And people were making up stories at the time as well, gossiping and making up stories. But some of it affected some people were left with their lives were not the same. I am a survivor, but some people's lives were not the same because this thing got really angry. And what I didn't realize is even in Hindi, there were people that joined them. Where I live, there were people that joined them. And there are some people who have got churches, they have millions and millions of followers. Pastors have joined them. And the list goes on. It's not just the celebrity, it's not just is the pastors as well, they're joining them because it brings audience. It helps people have millions and millions of followers. It helps people with wealth. If you want to become a billionaire, very, very easy. You join him. But some people, they are billionaires. They've worked hard for their money. So if I have a business and I want customers, I have to say yes to it. If I want to be different, really very, very quickly, very, very, very quickly, if I want like 20 million followers or 100 million followers, you can offer that because it goes and hack people to show them maybe we'll show them my YouTube channel or my Facebook channel. On all those things, as a Christian, I was ignorant. I was very, very ignorant. That's how I can describe it, because I should have known because it's written in the Bible, but I didn't. I was reading the Bible and I was so blinded and I didn't know. And when I was confronted by that, and that's when I realized, but I'm glad the parents that I have, that my parents have taught me to become the person that I am with my character, with my behavior. And that's why there were friends who actually stepped in and say, I know somebody who can help you. And these people, when they actually met me and they were intrigued with my story, they were like interested with my story. And I was like, okay, so I had to follow those instructions in order for me to survive. There were instructions that I had to follow. And there were things that I had to do in my life when it comes to my character. If you go on Facebook, I have clothes that I bought. Some of them dresses cost me £500, £600, but they were cleavage. I had to bend them. I had to get rid of everything that was representing Lucifer in my life. So those are the things that they've taught me I had to get rid of. Like, you know, when you go on a holiday, you just buy objects and you don't even know the meaning. So they had to tell me what objects I need to get rid of in the house. So I had to get rid of objects. Some objects I had to get rid of. What else that I had to get rid of? I had to burn my computer. I had a laptop where I have stored everything. And then I removed some of my pictures. And there were times where, like, sometimes I go for photo shoot. And it's like when I go for photo shoot, I take my pictures. And those are the things that I had to get rid of. Some photo shoot that did not represent God, I had to ban. I actually decided that was my choice, that I needed to ban the computer, the laptop. So I had to ban the laptop. I had to ban my clothes. I had to stop wearing trousers, because now that I said no to joining them, now they were using the Bible against me. So it was then up to me that he had to make a decision. And that decision, I just decided to ban everything. It didn't matter how much it cost me. God, he actually he restored everything. So I banned everything. And after banning everything, that was my survival. Actually, when I banned everything, he appeared again, but when he appeared, it was then when God revealed to me what it was, his identity, what kind of a spirit I was dealing with. So then what I did was, okay, you want to fight me? So I created a fire and I called him out. And I said, if you want to fight me, I'm not scared of you. Coming into this fire, I knew that he wouldn't come near the fire. But then my brother told me off. The pastor that is my brother now. So the pastor that was helping me told me off and said, I cannot kill it because this is carrying millions and millions of people. If I kill it, those people will die. Meaning that if he is carrying 10 million or 100 million around the world, people that have joined, they have hugged. That means if I kill it, the people will die. So then he went back and said to the pastor that I do not want to be near that child. She's crazy, she's bonkers. And that is the truth, guys. I had to fight for my own life. I stood by my beliefs. And I said, if you want to kill me, I'm standing in truth. So I put a fire in my garden. When I put a fire in my garden, so I said, you can come through this fire, but you have to go through this fire. So I was like, I'm out of here. I'm not coming back. And that's when he never returned. That's how you fight the enemy. So you don't have to be scared of the enemy. You have to fight. So to me, it was through the Bible. I had to pray to God. I had to fast. Show me what is this? the gods, some gods are, they are what, I don't want to scare people. Some gods, they come in different forms. The gods, some of them, they are gods of the trees, the gods of the waters, the oceans. They are the different gods. But this one, it was Lucifer's. God has his own angel on earth. Jesus himself, he has his own angel on earth. But Lucifer has his own angel on earth. But this one is Lucifer's angel that is using to actually deal with people who are sinning on earth. But then what I realized, I had to ask God to reveal to me what kind of an angel it is that I was facing when I actually realized. And that's when the pastor explained what it is and how many people is carrying. So that's why some people sometimes they suffer through depression. They suffer through anxiety, pedophiles, prisoners, rapists, all sorts of things is carrying all those things when he was joining me, when he was asking me to join, when I said no. So he made me feel every pain. The person, the people the big people that he was with, there are some billionaires, they are with him because they've joined him. But I'm not going to tell you guys. That one is part of the prayer. God reveals this secret if you dedicate your life to actually pray with him, to pray and to know the truth. And for me, it was, I needed to know the truth and I needed to know who I was. And I knew that there was more in me than what it was in the eyes. So I needed to know. And I wasn't going to let anyone stopping me becoming the person that I wanted to become. So I'm sharing this story, guys, because when I speak to my, when I actually realized I was suspecting that why it keeps coming back is not coming back to me, but it's coming back to the people that their parents, I think, have sinned. And all these people have sinned, I can see the effect, how it is affecting them. So I was like, why is he showing me what he's doing? Then I've realized that somebody in my family is saying this pastor is not real. But this is the man that when somebody actually dedicated their lives, or even marriages can be destroyed by somebody spreading rumors about people, about somebody, or a relationship or family. Family can be destroyed. That's why you have to choose people that are in your environment. And when I realized actually somebody in my family is talking about this guy saying is not really, my world fell apart because, but in a good way. It made me realize actually, I know my story. I know the pain that I went through. I know this guy, what he did to help me, because I'm the only person that knows. They're saying it is the truth about what I've gone through, but how he's helped me, they're saying is a lie. He didn't help me. It was just God that he helped me. But to be honest with you, there is no way that I would have survived if these people didn't step in to help me, because I didn't know anything. But now if you ask me, I can explain, I can help somebody myself because I had gone through it. But if somebody was to come to me and ask me, I'll say it exists. I'll say it doesn't exist. But I know. So some of my family are saying, yeah, she got help, but it was God, not him. He doesn't know. He doesn't know what he's doing, and he's not. But to me, I can tell you that I know my story. One day, I will write a book, just my story. My story is very, very, to other people when they read it, is very, very scary, because some people may say, how did you survive? But I didn't just survive because I was special. I survived because of my character and because of the people that entered my life, and God directed me to those people, and they just entered my life to help me. And those people, they helped me. And even myself, I'm actually like grateful for their help. I'm grateful because they didn't just help me. It means everybody that was on my phone, my contact, would have been got in trouble. Some did. Some didn't. On Facebook, apparently is on social media, is big on social media anyway. So those are the things that made me choose this topic, that what the gossip can do. It can cause a bad impact on children, environment. It can actually cause insecurity and negative conversation with people. It can cause personal insecurity. It can cause bitterness, so many things. And so it's very, very important to make sure that you avoid, as a person, even at work. I don't gossip myself. So if somebody brings a gossip to me, you have to give me evidence why you're gossiping about that person. I don't get involved in gossip. Those are the things that I keep myself out of it. Even with the family members, my family, they know that I don't get involved with gossip. Even when this person was telling me what they think about the pastor, I told them it's them that have a problem to deal with their issues, because to me, this person is genuine. And when somebody is genuine and somebody else is spreading their words, evil words against them, it doesn't hurt, but it makes you realize, it made me realize this world that we live in. We live in this world where people make things up. And that things up, their words become things. And their things destroys people's lives. And instead, we need to get creative. We need to look around and see who are the people that are surround our environment. I'm very, 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 very strict when it comes to gossip. I don't get involved. When somebody tells me something, I have to ask myself what part this person wants me to play. And if it's a part where it destroys somebody, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved in anything that it does not build anyone. I don't want to get involved in anything that it does not add value to my life. I can tell you, I am what I am today because of this guy. He entered my life. He lost his marriage actually in the process. When he was helping me as well, he lost, by his married now. He remarried. He entered my life and he just helped me. He just took me as a sister and said, Nomsa, I'll help you. And other pastors that helped me. And when we finished dealing with Lucifer, we were now dealing with the person that I've meant to become. But that party is me that had to do it. They were there just to supporting me. Why is that? They were there supporting me. There's this book by Dr. Olukoya, Who Art Thou? Unveil a divine mystery of your existence for self-discovery, deliverance, all around fulfillment. This book is awesome. It's really, really awesome. And if you can get a copy, it doesn't talk about Christian or anything. It talks about Christianity, but in a way that where you can actually build your identity. It helps you to understand your identity, who you are meant to be as a person. Your identity is not designed for you to gossip. Gossip destroys people. So there are questions that you ask yourself, and those were the things that these guys were teaching me to understand my identity, who I'm supposed to be on earth. And at that moment, since that day, that moment, if you find me stressed, I don't get stressed anymore. The reason why I don't get stressed is because I came to realize that there is more to life than the things you cannot control. There is more to life. And this Lucifer recruiting me, wanting me to be part of a cult, it made me realize God's existence. Because at the time I was reading the Bible, not knowing the God's existence, that God exists. I didn't know that other gods exist. But when he entered my life, there was this time, there were times where I had to be grateful for my life. I had to be grateful for my children. I had to be grateful for what I have. But at the same time, I had to work on my identity. And that's why I do what I do. I had to work on my identity just to become the person that I become, and not to listen to people to tell me that I can't. There are things that I can do. So I had to realize that if I go on YouTube, I can do my SEO on YouTube, but I'm not trained. It's because I pray and I ask God to teach me. I go online, I can do things that I want to do, but now I'm in the process of asking God to actually show me what's my existence on the earth. I know I'm a love harmonist. I know that I have my own business, but I need more. I need to know more about myself. I'm not interested in gossiping. And so after realizing what was going on, so I've made a decision that I'm going to sit down with this pastor that helped me. Sometimes in life, you have to give people tough love. You have to give people tough love. So I'm going to ask him to decide whether he wants to hang out with these people that talk about him, saying bad things about him, or he's a pastor. Sometimes we have to make tough choices in life. I know he loves me, and as somebody who loves somebody, he'll want to hold on to my family, even if they are not appreciating him for what he did, because to me, what he did, it was big. If somebody was to ask me and say, I will say, no. If somebody says God is a mumbo jumbo, I'll say, okay. I wouldn't argue with them, because that is the experience that I've experienced myself. So I'll let them get to heaven, and then you see where they go, whether they go to hell or they go to heaven. So I'll let them decide on their own. But as a person, you have to make choices in life. Who is in your story? How we write our story, who we want that person to be part of our story. So we have to make those choices. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this talk today, but at the same time, making a decision about my life. And it made me realize, actually, sometimes the people make up story. I've seen like celebrities and people coming out with their love stories and crushing their life upside down. And sometimes those stories are not real. It happens. And there are some people, businesses who have had their stories, their life upside down because of the stories that don't exist about them. So it's very, very, very important to actually be strong. I don't know how I can put it. Have strength within yourself. have strength, because people will create stories, naysayers, haters, they will create stories. And if you're not strong, you end up following that crowd, reacting to it. And when my family members were talking about this guy, and I was like, if you only knew the pain. There were times where I cried and say, God, why do you have to give me this gift where people will be chasing me, wanting to kill me for it? Why would you do that? But then I realized this is the person that I am. So the only thing I have to do is to fight. So that's why I decided, you know what? The minute I identified what kind of a occult, what kind of this garden was, I just went to the garden. I would have paid loads of money, but I just went to the garden. I knew it was my house. I went to the garden and I put the fire and I said, you wanna fight me? Come and fight me. And then my pastor said, no, Msa, you know killing it. Because when you kill it, you kill people. But I was like, you forgot to tell me that detail? And you're telling me now? So that's when I had to let it go. And that's the person that I am. And I didn't learn that because I'm strong. It's because I accepted the person that I am. And I accepted God in my life. And I have chosen to work on myself, my inner world, to gain my strength. I fast 3 days a week. And I pray to God. I gave up some things, some looks that I thought were useful to me, but then I realized actually to be attractive, I don't have to look like that. So I gave up those looks because I began to love showing my boobies. And I didn't realize it was these guys. I began to love, I would spend lots of money like buying clothes that my boobies. If you go and look at my photos on Facebook, there's this picture with it's navy and this gray, there's gold in it. So my boobies were out. That is expensive dress. That dress it had to go to the fire. It's not a joke or anything. I had to burn it because apparently my pastor said if I throw it away, it means its existence still exists. So when I burn it, it means I cannot go back to it. That life, I can go back to that life if I want to, but if I burn it, it means I'm leaving that life behind. So I had to leave the life behind, and I had to work on my creativity. And now I still look good. I still look sexy when I go out, but my boobies are inside, not out. But that was my choice. So I didn't know that when I'm actually showing off my body out, I'm showing loose, I'm part of his kingdom. So it's a choice that I have learned the hard way. It's something that as a person that I had to learn. But if somebody was to come and hearing them telling me, I'll say it doesn't exist, but it does exist. Celebrities are into occult. People, non-celebrities are into occult. It does exist. Not just celebrities, non-celebrities, they are into occult. Rich people, some of them are into occult. And it's people's choices. So for me, before when somebody talks about occult, I didn't know what it was. I was like, occult, oh yeah, everybody's talking about joining Alumi, this symbol, Alumi, whatever they talk about, I'll be like, yes, they're talking about it, but it's a small thing. But I can tell you that those who listen to the music, they have to get a sacrifice through the audience. For those, the artists that have joined, and some of them is not the artist, is normal rich people who just uses blood for it, and he exists. in this world. I thought he didn't, but now, if you want to follow it, you follow Dr. Olukoya. He speak about it. And to me, it was the world that I didn't know existed. He talks about it a lot, that there are some churches, when you go to their churches, you don't come out. There are some, and last year, I saw that company, the coaches on BBC, that they actually in it now. The coaches are in it now. So it's not confusing, but that's how the world is turning. People want things easy. He makes things easy, but there is catch in it. There is a catch in it. So the coaches now are in it. So if you want to hire a coach, make sure you are not hiring a coach that is into a cult as well. Because the coaches on BBC, exactly, they were describing these guys that went through this coaching company. They were describing exactly what I was going through. And the pastors are in it. I don't know if anyone sangomas as well, the African sangomas, they are in it. So people, it's their choice. We can't blame them, but it's the path and the choice that they choose to. But it affects the people in the world. It affects people. Those who don't know, who just like things. When you go on a holiday, when you see somebody saying, "Can I read your life about your future?" Run. Why would you want to know about my future? Why would you want to know about it? Why would you want to help me with my future? If somebody is not a God, why would somebody who is not a God and say, "I'm going to help you with your future, give you a better future"? Run. So there are some people, when they go on holidays, they see the people and they're like, oh, reading, they want to get involved. So you have to make sure that you know what you get yourself involved in. And so guys, that was the story that I just felt that I need to. It's a topic of gossip. What does gossip do? Gossip destroys. There are so many celebrities that are innocent, that people come forward and they talk about how these things, how that, what is that. But for me, I can tell you that, guys, I'm not going to tell you the names, but I know that it exists. I know that it is real. And I know that there are some people, pastors, big pastors that are on TV, that they are in it. And there is real. It's not that it's a lie, it's real. But you just have to choose this only for you to understand how it works. Sometimes you have to go through it. So God bless everyone. And my website is working now. You can go to my website and register if you are looking for love, or if you are looking for coaching. I do have coaches. I'm not into cult, by the way. So you can register if you are looking to be coached by my coaches, by Ngosi Talk Shows coaches. I have coaches, my coaches, that are based under Hope Spring Eternal Introduction Agency, and they are coaches based on Ngosi Talk Shows, the independent coaches. So if you want to find your own voice and lead from within, please do get in touch. These coaches, they have walked through the path, like myself. I've walked through the path where I faced the challenges. And also sometimes I have clients that I end up helping them without them knowing. If I know that they are looking for love, but there are some certain things that they love to do, and those certain things are attracting the stagnance in their lives. So I do help them out, and that's how I coach. Psychology, using science, psychology. And if I meet Christians that tell me, Nomsa, or sometimes they have their exes and they don't have a relationship with their exes as well, because sometimes all these things is all about the foundation of our lives, that it destroys the whole thing of our lives. So work on your foundation. We work on the foundation, making sure that your foundation of life is beautiful. Your foundation is meant to bring success, is meant to bring marriages, is meant to bring anything that you desire in life. But if there is a struggle in marriage, if there is a struggle in business, or there is a struggle in all those things, that's how we just work together to make sure that you find the love that you're looking for, and you connect with, you become the person that you are meant to become when you register with Hope Spring Eternal and Production Agency and Gospel Talk Shows. God bless everyone. Live with grace and enjoy the last day of Bank Holiday weekend, Monday today.